Diane from Teach Pre-K, and before we get too much further into November, I wanted to just share my Thanksgiving math centers with you today. Hopefully we'll get to literacy tomorrow, and some arts and crafts the next day, hopefully. But I've got everything at home and I've got to get it back to school by Thursday. And it's Tuesday, pretty late afternoon. So I'm going to whiz through this as fast as I can. This stuff I'm going to show you is in my Teachers Pay Teacher store in my Thanksgiving lesson plan. And I've got a freebie that I'll probably share a little bit later. Maybe I'll tack it on with the arts and crafts and stuff like that. But one of these great, really super fun kind of play to learn things that I do in a lot of my lesson plans is a spin graph and count. And I've got this right here, and we use this with Unifix cubes. I'll do a link to that because I've got purple in here, which isn't included in the usual set. And then these clear spinners. These were from Hand to Mind, but I am kind of noticing that Hand to Mind doesn't have this same set, but lots of other places do. So I'll leave an Amazon link to this. The whole idea here is I have got down here all these different colors of turkey. Now this one is kind of turquoise with some purple, so I use purple for that. Red, orange, green, blue, and brown. You spin this spinner, and this is red. So I would put one red Unifix cube here. And as I go, this little graph is going to get filled up as I make kind of little towers with the Unifix cubes. What I love about this is each kid at my table in my small group centers will have Unifix cubes and this little spin and graph mat. And they are just spinning and adding different colors as they go. And for each one, I'll be like, oh my gosh, you've got green again or red again. Look, you have the most red. Red is winning. Oh, you don't have very many blue. You have the least amount of blue. So I am throwing math language at them. At the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh no, you still don't have any orange. You have the least amount of orange. We need more orange. No, not red again. We need less red because you have the most red. So I am talking more, less, most, least, things like that. Then we will stop at a certain point. We will count each thing. Use a dry erase marker for each color and count how many. So we're doing some one-to-one correspondence. We're graphing. We're going to do numeral recognition when we write how many they have. We're using lots of math language. And you guys, they're just having fun. They're also getting fine motor in with making little towers, or they're like kind of lay down towers of the Unifix cubes. Like, so let's say they rolled 4, or they spun and got 3 greens, right? So we would have 3 green right there. And I said the number 4 before, so let's say they spun and they ended up with 4 red. So we're already, we've got the 3 green, we've got the 4 red. We are already seeing on this graph that 4 is more than 3. But you guys, they love this activity, which is why I include it in so many things. And I am getting into golden hour right now. So I am going to pause recording and turn a light on because otherwise this video is going to be lit really weird. I turned on a light so that the lighting's not going to be quite as weird as it would have been. Another really great thing I love in my Thanksgiving lesson plan is I've got these shape tracing sheets. These are these I can draw shapes. I have them in black and white and color. I just use the color ones because I don't like worksheety things. So I just give them these, and you guys, I know it seems like, oh wow, they're gonna trace these shapes. They love it. They love it. So I stick with my basic shapes. So this one has my square, triangle, rectangle, and oval. And then this one, I just couldn't resist. I had to do like a table, and the circles are the plates. So all you need are your dry erase markers and some of these like dry erase pockets, and just let the kids trace the shapes. I don't even know if this is tracing because I don't have that flat, but I'm just going to trace with this green Expo marker there, the triangle. Woo, that was wavy. The square, this is supposed to look kind of like a platter. And this is our Thanksgiving table with the food on it, which is our rectangle. So we've got that one. And then these great circles, which I love because, ooh, that one was not good. See, even the teacher cannot do it perfectly. Did that even show up? Yeah. So the kids just lay these flat on the table, trace the shapes, get some shape practice in, get some fine motor work in, and we reinforce those basic shapes. And they get a little fine motor with just holding the marker, trying to follow straight and curved lines, which you guys, that's our standards. So super easy activity, and they love it because they love using the dry erase markers. They love erasing their stuff too. It actually is one of my favorites, and I use it every year, and I have, you guys, for, I think I opened my Teachers Pay Teacher store in 2015, and this is one of the first things I made. So we're going on 10 years with that activity, and they love it. Another activity I love to do, and you guys, I'm going to admit to you, I stole this idea from the mailbox. I don't know if you guys know the mailbox. It was a preschool teacher magazine a long time ago, and they had some amazing ideas, and they had a little template for these turkeys with the numbers on their bellies, and I just ran these off on brown construction paper back in the day and laminated them. And then I just thought, you know what? I am going to make a sturdier, cuter turkey on my own. And I also put it in my lesson plan. But I'm just going to show you what I do with this. I get my colored clothespins. And if you can see, this makes it easy for my 3-year-olds. They have to put a clothespin on each of those dots. And that's going to show them that they do, in fact, have 6 clothespins on there. And my pre-K likes it too because these go up to, I think they go up to, oh gosh, they go up to 15. So this really helps them when they get in those bigger numbers. So we're just going to clip and make our super colorful turkey. And you guys, I put all the colors of clothespins out, not just the Thanksgiving colors, because they like all of them. So I'll just put big old baskets of clothespins out, and they can make just the most colorful little turkeys. And I kind of take these off as I go. I'll check them like, oh yeah, this is 6, and I take them off and put them back in the basket so we don't run out of clothespins. But you can use just plain clothespins too. I just like the colored ones because it makes a fun, colorful Thanksgiving turkey. Again, I've got a numeral recognition, one-to-one correspondence, fine motor. I mean, hitting so many different standards, math standards, fine motor standards. It's great. It's great. It's just such a fun activity. That's the best thing about preschool is being able to combine so many standards all at once. Okay, so I also have another Unifix cube activity. So I've got my Unifix cubes, and this is a count and stack. So I've got these Pilgrims. I've got the 1 through 10 and the 1 through 5. So they would just make towers of Unifix cubes. So 1 Unifix cubes, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on that one. This one, it's a little harder, especially when the towers get taller, like my 9, 8, my 10, even 7. They can really topple, but you guys, another great fine motor, numeral recognition, counting, and one-to-one correspondence in one activity. So this unit, I swear, just has it all. Okay, I'm gonna see what else I've got. Oh, I've got a 10 fat turkeys. You can use any of your Scholastic turkey counting books. I just use my 10 fat turkeys, and I've got a couple options of 10 frames. I have one that doesn't have anything. Excuse me, and is completely empty. Sorry, you guys. It's November, and it's my allergies are coming out. I've got the one with the numbers filled in, and then you can use manipulatives that you already have, but I also have provided just these like little turkeys that fit in the 10 frame. So as you go along, whether it's a adding or subtracting book, if it's a subtracting book, like you start with 10 turkeys, then you go 9, 8, I would fill this whole thing out and start where they can see the numbers, or you start to fill them in as we get going. 1 turkey, 2 turkeys, 3 turkeys, etc. So just make sure each kid has at least 10 of these little turkeys or enough manipulatives. This 10 frame adds the numeral recognition piece into it. This one you can use just to have them fill it out and figure it out on their own as you go. So I love any activities where I can put counting books with it, because the kids really like doing activities with books. So this is one that I really, really, really like. Another thing that I like to do is I like to do what I call match 4. And this I go up to, I think I go up to 10 or 15 in this. But I have these mats, and there are 4 spaces. And they just have to find 4 of these cards that have 4 things on it. This one has 5, so that is definitely not one of them. But this one, I have got 4 Pilgrim girls, so 1 spot is full. This one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pumpkins. So I've got the 4 pumpkins. I'm going to stick this down here so I can see. So I have 2 of my places filled. Now I have 4 Pilgrim boys and 4 cornucopias, and I fill in the 4 spots. So that's why it's called match 4. And I have lots of different cards. So I would give the kids a stack of mats, and I would give them maybe 3 mats to start, and maybe go up in increments of 3 or 4, and just give them the cards that match with the mats that they have. With younger children, if you give them the whole stack of cards that go with every number, they're going to be overwhelmed, and they are not going to want to do the activity. It's not going to be fun. They're going to lose interest, and they're going to feel really defeated, and your center's just not going to go well. So I want you to really think when you're doing centers like this, keep it easy on the kids. Keep it easy, but with just a little bit of challenge. Enough of a challenge that they feel the challenge, but easy enough they can feel successful. And that's where you're going to foster that love of learning. If it's too hard and feels impossible, it's just going to lead to frustration, and a lot of the kids are going to give up. You're going to have 1 or 2 that are going to continue the center, but you're going to have some that are going to give up. So please, 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 like if you have a child that you know struggles counting past 5, like with that count and stack activity or even this activity, maybe only go up one number or keep it to the count and stack 1 through 5 so they can complete the whole thing without frustration and feel successful. The turkeys, oh, they can go all the way up because all they have to do is put a clothespin on those dots. But I'm a firm believer in, if you want it to be play-based learning, it has to be fun. They have to feel successful and they have to feel good about themselves, if that makes sense. Another thing I have is, oh my gosh, I have another little tracing thing. So with this one, it's count and trace, and I have updated these cards so they don't have this checkerboard frame around anymore. I just haven't updated my set, but you count how many things you see. It could be turkeys, corn, like I've got the corn, got turkeys, I have wishbones, I have things like that, and then you trace the number. So we've got counting, one-to-one correspondence, numeral formation, and then numeral recognition. Fine motor skills as well, because you're using that dry erase marker for that one. And you know what? My kids love this too, because they love using dry erase markers and they love being like, you know, the big kids and really writing numbers. I have letter things like this too. Another thing that I've got is like, oh, I just showed you that. Sorry, you guys, I saw something else and my mind got off track. This is just another count and clip, and I've updated this as well. It doesn't look like this anymore. I just haven't updated my set, which I really should, but it's a lot of printing, a lot of laminating, a lot of cutting. But kind of like our turkey feathers, we count how many of these we see, and we decide, gosh, which number matches how many we count. So again, we have counting, numeral recognition, then we're going to put a clip, fine motor, there you go. So again, another activity that's bringing so many different things together. And the kids really like that too. They like anything where I bring out the clothespins. My 3-year-olds especially, because they're just learning how to use these. They're still struggling with them. Pre-K loves it because they are such experts now, and they love to be like, oh yeah, last year I couldn't do this, but I can do this year. It's pretty cute. Another Thanksgiving thing I have is this is 15 through 20. This is a seek and find the numbers. So we would draw number cards and we would use daubers or we would color the number. This one is the mat, so we would cover it with like a little button or some kind of marker. I have these 1 through 5, 1 through 10, 1 through 15, and 15 through 20. So we have got a lot of different combinations there. Another thing I like to do, hold on, is when it gets really, really close to Thanksgiving, we talk about our favorite food and we make a graph. So I have these little pictures, mashed potatoes, rolls, pumpkin pie, turkey. These have all been updated too. This is a super old font. Apple pie, green beans, cranberries, and corn. And I just make a graph out of some chart paper, and we use sticky notes. And if corn is their favorite, that we would put their name on the sticky note above the corn. And we would do that for all of these things. And we'd do that in whole group. And then we would count and we would write the number on our chart paper. And we would talk about which has the most, which has the least. So again, it's like that graphing activity from the beginning of this video where we are counting, we are graphing, we are learning all these really fun things. over and over in this unit. So the repetition part is super important for little kids, because the more they do these activities, the more successful that they feel and the more confident they're going to be in themselves. So all of the lesson plans that I make sure I do repeat activities in my lesson plans, because it's how they learn. It's what they like. And it's super important to them. I think I am going to show you my freebie. It is not in my Teachers Pay Teachers store today, Tuesday, but I think I'm not going to put this video out until tomorrow on Wednesday, and it will be there. So hang on. Off camera for a bit. Okay, okay guys, we're going to go on a turkey hunt. And this is free in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. I'll leave the link in this description. But we have these little templates that you'll make a copy for every student. This is the turkey hunt 0 through 10. And this is 0 through 15. I have got all these different turkeys with numbers on their bellies. And these go all the way up to 15. I have Velcro on the back of mine because I have a half carpeted wall, which sounds really weird, out in my hallway. So we just go through and we stick these. But if you have just a regular wall, you would want to use tape or a glue dot or something like that. And put these out in your hallway. Maybe, when a teacher's reading a book or whatever, your aide can go out and do that, or you can do that before the kids come in. Or you can hide them around your classroom if you don't have the benefit of that. But what the kids will do is they'll go on a turkey hunt. They'll get one of these papers, and they will have to find all these different turkeys, and they will mark. I have these little squares for them to mark. My pre-K can start doing that. My 3-year-olds, I just let them put a mark anywhere. And it's like, let's look for the number. So we need to look for the number. So I turned this into a numeral recognition exercise, but also all the turkeys are different. So the 0 turkey is a construction worker. The 7 turkey is a mechanic. The 1 turkey is a police officer. The 4 turkey's a farmer. The 9 turkey is a pizza delivery guy. So they're all different. And I have them in circles. I cut these in more detail just because I wanted to, but they are really easy to prep because they're just a circle. You just cut out a circle. So you print, laminate, cut out a circle for whatever numbers you want to use, the 0 through 10 or the 0 15, and you've got a center ready to go. And one thing you could do if you do it in the hallway, we did this with ghosts, same kind of idea. We just turned off the lights and gave them flashlights. You could do that with turkeys too, and just make it extra special and fun, because we all know kids love anything with a flashlight. So that is all the math I have. So I will leave a link to my lesson plan plus my math centers, my literacy centers, all that stuff, and my turkey freebie. But thanks so much for watching, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow too, because I've got lots of stuff to do before Thanksgiving.